Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? I know I did before I started this. I had tons of questions that I didn't have the answers to. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people, like to listen to? How do I make money off of it? Really, and all these answers were simply answered by Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use, and I cannot specify that enough. It is so easy, especially for somebody like me. I'm lazy, although I am tech savvy and I can do all this manually myself. I don't want to, so it's great. And now Anchor can match you up with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. So that means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. And, as people listen to this ad and listen to my podcast, I will get more and more money to this and, hopefully maybe be able to be self-efficient with this. So if you always want to start a podcast and make money, go to anchor.fm/start. It's anchor.fm/start to join me and a diverse community of podcasters already use Anchors. And can't wait to hear your podcast. Welcome to the Kaha Club. Roll up. Let's take a rip. Never tell you the world is yours. Yeah, bish. And welcome back, pussy. It's Kyle High Club, episode 15. It's been a little minute since I did just a regular episode. The whole reason I started this podcast was to do these episodes and talk about random shit that I see either across the interwebs or through normal discussions with coworkers or friends or family members, and just dive into it a little deeper, a little more detailed, just so I can get the bullshit out of my head. Honestly, I don't give a fuck if you guys listen. Obviously, it'd be appreciated, but honestly, I think I've just been doing less and less because I started doing the MMA episodes because I realized, I'm sure there are people out there doing it, but at least I haven't seen a big name, super popular MMA show where they go through every single fight and detail it. So I just said, why don't I do it myself, learn about some of these guys, especially the up-and-comers, and actually do like some homework, just keep my fucking self busy, as if I need more things to do. But ever since I started doing those MMA podcasts, I've just been honestly literally keeping myself busy, and to where my mind, I haven't been on social media really that much, and haven't got into arguments or conversations with people, regarding topics that come up in daily life, in political landscape or family landscape or what have you, or just life in general. Something I've been busy, so I haven't been doing it, and it is what it is, but fuck it, here I am. This past weekend, I actually got a little break from work. I took Thursday, Friday off for my sister's graduation. She graduated from JMU, James Madison University in Virginia, same college I went to. So she's second family member to graduate from James Madison. So I thought that was pretty cool. I hadn't been back there. I think I actually went back, since my graduation, I went back one time, and they had a college game day for the second time. I forget who they played, but the first time they had it, I was in school, and I went to that, and they played Richmond. That was back when Vad Lee was their quarterback. And ended up losing. It was a good game, good time. It was just crazy. Literally woke up at like 6, had Jaeger bombs, and 6 in the morning. Woke up at 6 in the morning, pre-gamed game day, which is at like 9, I believe, and just tailgate from there after. It's all kind of a blur, but it was a fun time. I don't remember too much the second time, but I remember it being fun. But since then, I hadn't been back in the state of Virginia since not almost here, I guess 8 months or so, 7 or 8 months, since last August, which isn't that long in the grand scheme of things, but when you start, I don't know. I grew up in Virginia. That's where I had been my entire life until, I guess, 2 Decembers ago, which still isn't even that long, but yeah. Anyways, went back, saw her graduate, do her walk and all that stuff. It was amazing. She was literally the 4th person called in her graduation, which was kind of cool. Got to see her walk, took a little picture, and then just chilled in the shade the entire rest of the time when I walked out of the stadium. Didn't walk out of the stadium, but walked out of the seats and just chilled in the underhang and hung out, talked to my other sister, talked to my grandparents, just hung out. Mainly did that because I know that here in Wisconsin we haven't got much sun and I'm pale as fuck, and I didn't want to get sunburned, especially on the top of my head, because I didn't bring a hat because I thought it was going to be rainy, but it wasn't, because I'm sure you really care about that. But it was a good time. It was weird. As soon as I got there, I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Like at Jamie, it wasn't that I didn't want to be at my sister's graduation. I didn't want to see family. I definitely did. I want to see my sister, especially graduating. It's a pretty big accomplishment. So I mean, caps off to anybody that does it. Honestly, for me, I thought it was super easy. And when I graduated, I didn't want anybody to go. I didn't even want to walk. I thought it was silly. Because I essentially did what was expected of me. I think it was expected of me from early age, and maybe not explicitly, but it was pretty apparent that parents and family members expected us to go to college and get an education, get a degree. So the fact that I did it, I was just like, yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. I mean, it wasn't hard. I fucked off a lot and still passed with pretty decent grades. But I know everyone's not me. I'm not saying I'm special, but I guess I can empathize for other people who had harder roads or harder degrees or what have you, or just different degrees that I wouldn't excel in. Like my sister graduated with a degree in social work. And while a lot of times I like to say that psychology or philosophy is kind of subjective based on a person's experience and the people in their life and how they adapted and grew up and they were nurtured and their nature surrounding them, since literally a newborn out of their mother's vagina to X to today. But as far as doing that as like a profession and working hands-on with people, and that's not me. I'm not a sociable person, hence why I'm talking to myself into a microphone. So hats off to anyone that graduates from college, especially my sister. It was very cool seeing her. Great seeing my younger sister as well, who's about to graduate high school. I'm about to go to JMU as well, so shouts out to both of them. Of course, the fucking kitty wants in. It's a nice day, so I can't not let her out. Or else I'm a dick. I'm coming. And I think she came in because some kids, the same kids that always try, they don't fuck with her. They did a little bit in the beginning. I think they chased her around. But I told them they can pet her and hang out with her and play with her. Just don't chase her or pick her up because she doesn't really like being picked up. But, hi. Yeah, I love you too. So where was I? Yeah, so it was cool seeing everybody, but I guess what I was going off on a little tangent, and Since this is a regular COD Club episode, I do have a couple things noted down here, but I'm just kind of going off the top of my head, seeing where it goes, see if some ideas just come up, or something triggers that I remember, and I speak on that. Watch out, kid, you don't want to get burned. Sorry about that. Damn. Yeah. But, fuck. But, when, literally as soon as, maybe not as soon as we got there, but, like, within an hour of being at JMU and, like, seeing all the old apartment places and all that stuff, I was like, damn, I don't want to be here. And as I said before, it wasn't anything against the people I was going to see and all that. It was more of, I had already been to this place. I had already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I got to my degree and, got out of there. Not to say I didn't have a great time. I had a great time, met a lot of fucking people. Don't really keep in touch with any of them. I don't keep in touch with anybody, honestly. But, nonetheless, it was a great fucking time. Good 3 years of my life. What do you want, Grace? Now you want back out? You're such a spoiled brat. Shut up. Oh my god. You're lucky you're cute. You want outside? Let's go outside. It's probably the worst beginning 10 minutes of an episode ever. Not that mine are amazingly great and high produced or anything, but yeah, it was just weird. I don't know, I had this feeling like, fuck, I don't want to be here, man. I want to go back now, because I had this weird feeling that I'm back here. I'm going, like, back in time. Like, almost I had to repeat and relive everything in the moment. And it all kind of hit me at once. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it all again. Yes, it was great. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I wish I could go back to college. It was the best time of my life. Which, yeah, it was a great fucking time. Got drunk all the time, high, fucking, multiple girls at a time. Things like that. Not having really any responsibilities besides showing up to class every now and then and pass your shit. And yeah, I have a lot more responsibilities. Maybe if you looked on like a fun meter and had to judge it solely on value and time spent doing enjoyable activities, that would obviously be higher in college than, now in my very short professional life. But I still don't want to go back. I don't know. I don't want to go back in time. Yes, there's things I miss, and yes, I, wish, I'm human. Sometimes I wish I could go back and do, something here or there differently, or not said something. But at the same time, I don't want to go through that all again. I'm here right now. I'm fucking happy and I'm having a good time. Yes, not a little more, but definitely a lot more stress. But this fucking life is part of growing up, and this is what I wanted. I wanted to be on my own and do my own shit and see what I could do with it. I think just like any other person. Maybe other people were smarter to be stay closer to home around friends and family and stuff. But who knows? I've always been a quiet, reserved individual, and I looked at this as almost just another opportunity to get outside my comfort zone. But now this is my comfort zone. Now this is my home. And as soon as I was somewhere else, I was like, damn, I just want to go home. Why can't I sleep in my bed? But that passed after like the first day. And there were times I was like, damn, I do just want to go fucking home, go lay in bed, maybe play Xbox, see Gracie, just get high as fuck and do nothing. But I still enjoy myself, and I just kept reminding myself, hey, you're not going to see these people that often, so try to be as positive as possible in the moment as possible. Because a lot of times, most of the time, my brain is always running off on tangents and, going on so many different tracks and paths, and I don't even remember where I was after 3 turns ago, or whatever the fuck I just said. But I feel I did a decent job, and I hope everyone, not like prying over it and like, oh my god, did everybody like me? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what they care. I mean, I do, because I love them, but if they don't like me, then whatever. And I know they don't. I know they don't not like me. I don't know. But it was good seeing my sisters, good seeing my grandparents. I hadn't seen them in a long time. I think last time I saw them was my graduation, which was 2 years ago. Or I walked 2 years ago. I didn't graduate till a couple months later because I had to take my senior capstone class during summer, which was actually kind of fun. In the moment, I hated it, but it was pretty cool. Learned a lot. Good seeing the grandparents. Good seeing my dad and Maria. Yeah, good seeing my mom. I hadn't seen some of my mom's side family either in a little while, so it was great to see them. And what was interesting is my sister and I think it was her idea. It honestly might have been my idea, but we decided to kind of have like a get together and have both sides of the family come together and just meet at her house for one night instead of doing separate dinners and trying to deal with the traffic and how packed everything's going to be and make reservations and things like that. So she ended up just getting catering order at Chipotle, which is fucking, it was dank. I only ate one bowl though. I was disappointed in myself. I used to be able to just eat, and I still can eat, but not really. I don't know. It's catching up with me, but it's not going anywhere. I ate like fucking shit for 4 days, and I didn't drink a lot, honestly. I didn't really binge drink at all, but I had a couple beers every now and then. I had a little slight buzz once or twice, but I wasn't hammered. What was the point? But I didn't gain a fucking single pound. Like, what the fuck? And I didn't work out or nothing. I took a walk one day around the campus, but that was maybe like 500 yards. It wasn't much. I don't know. Guess I'm lucky. But you gotta still keep working. Body will still break down on you. But yeah, both sides of the family came together and we had food together, and they had exchanged pleasantries at the least. There were some conversations had back and forth, but not much. But I was talking to my dad about this, and that's super logical, smart guy. He was like, well, we were all like talking about it off. I mean, not even just him, but I think my mom was all. Everyone was talking about it. And my sisters, we talked about it. Oh fuck, like, we're gonna have both sides of the family together. Some of these people haven't seen each other in a while. There still might be bad blood or bad beef. We don't know exactly what it is because we were young. If we don't know what's going on, I wasn't paying attention. I just knew my parents are splitting up. I didn't really see how that affected aunts and uncles and things like that. So it's interesting to see how. And I was now that I'm, I guess, technically an adult, even though I fucking still feel like I'm probably a fucking 16-year-old. Me and my dad were talking, and I was talking to my sisters as well, and they might have been in the room as well. And it was like, well, now that I'm an adult, it was like, well, if you could just say hi. I mean, that we're here for my sister. She's graduating. We're here for her, and it's definitely a lot easier to just get, meet at her place instead of going out to 2 separate or 3 fucking separate dinners or whatever and just being fools, spending a shit ton of money, and to deal with traffic and how packed restaurants would be. So like, if you can't fucking stomach to just come over and say, hi, how are you? How have you been? Yeah, good to see you. Even if you don't mean it. And, oh yeah, congrats to Alexi, yay. Then cool. Then what the fuck? If you're over, I don't know. If you're an adult, like, just fucking get over yourself. Just act like an adult. And not saying anybody didn't, but it was just, it was interesting. Like, my sisters, we were talking like, oh shit, like, people would start fighting or get in arguments, and like, I'm like, I just like, I don't think so. Like, people would think that instantly, but it'd be so dumb. It's just so dumb. I don't see the point. I don't know what there is to argue about. Parents have been separated for a while. If there was any bad blood, like, I feel like honestly it shouldn't matter anymore. I don't know, but I don't know. I was just like, yeah, no, I think we'll be fine. I don't think anyone's gonna do anything. And if so, I would just interject and be like, hey, motherfucker, stop. What's going on here? Talk to me. And I just talked to both sides pretty casually. Yeah, but it was interesting to see the cliques, how I think my mom's side of my family ended up going on the back porch, and dad's side stayed in the kitchen and hung out. And then my sister's roommate's family stuck just in the living room on the couches together. So it was interesting. We are so tribal as people. No matter if we're trying to be there for one individual who accomplished a goal that they've been set on for a couple years. And this is what they want to do with their life. I don't know. All in all, it was good. It was very, very laid back, and it wasn't hostile at all. And everyone said, "Oh, that went a lot better than I thought it would." I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it went exactly how I thought it would. It didn't go any better or any worse. The way that people were talking about it, yeah, it went better than I guess I thought I would, but that was because your perception was putting in my mind that it'd go bad, but I don't know. But, yeah, staying on the same, one thing, when my sister did for her graduation, I guess I didn't realize it from, when I graduated, but it was super weird that I noticed. So they walked all the kids in. Well, before I got there, they were already seated and stuff. But I know when I did my graduation, you just walked in and sat down kind of when you got there. They didn't play no music. They might have had some intro music or stuff. So then, I believe to start the graduation, we might have had a song, somebody might have sang, I don't know. But essentially, they started... Or somebody came to the podium and was like, blah, 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 I'm blah, blah, blah. We were going to introduce the faculty, and this person's going to play for them as the faculty enters. I'm just like, okay. So the person walks off, and then some music starts playing, and they're like playing like a pretty good song as the faculty walks in, all in their like robes too. I guess graduation garb, if you've ever been to a graduation, at least at a college. I don't know what they do in high school. I don't even remember my shit. But they all, and since we were at the football stadium, I got to see it from high up. But they literally played this music until the faculty walked in from like the tunnel. They walked around, or they walked from the back all the way to the front to where the stage was, and around the students to the end, and then they sat down at the back and like around the students. So it's like it was fucking weird, man. Like, and they were all in the graduation hoods and shit like that. I don't know. It was very culty to me. I didn't think, oh, this is the faculty of JMU. I'm like, oh, this looks like like if I was an alien and didn't know there's this graduation going on, and I was looking down on this, I would see, oh, these students or these young people are gathered together. They're all wearing the same stuff. They got some people on the stage, and then there's obviously people in the stands. Okay, so I guess we're honoring these students. They're all dressed the same and together, or we're honoring these young people. They must have accomplished something. That's what I think as an alien. And then they start the show and play the fucking music, and then you see these people all kind of dressed the same too, but they got their own ribbons or fucking decorations on their shit, but they're all in black and dark colors, and it was I don't know, it was very weird because they said all rise. I think they made us stand. Did they make us stand up for that too on the faculty dinner? Yeah, that was really weird too. I don't know, they didn't make us, but but we did. It was fucking really, really strange, and what I thought of it was literally a cult. I'm like, this just seems very culty to me, and I didn't like it. I don't know, it was just very bizarre how they basically kind of worship the faculty. Okay, everybody all rise as the faculty comes in. Then they start playing a pretty good song, like I was into it, and they walk around the students, and they sit in the back. Like, you could have just gone straight to the back, but no, they're walking like a single file line. Some of them might have been carrying flags, I can't remember. It's almost like they were a color guard, or like fucking soldiers, presenting the colors. But they're not. They're just fucking old people that teach younger people. Not diminishing what a professor does, but that's what they do. They're teaching younger people. And it's one of the most important things in my estimation, my view. But yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. Maybe I was too high at the time, but who knows? And I forget where I had this thought in the shower the other day. And so picture me in the shower, if you know me. Picture me naked. Psych, don't do that. But I had this thought in the shower today, or not today. I think it was yesterday. I just wrote it down in my phone. Hey, something I want to talk about. Next time I do one of these. And this is actually the main reason why I wanted to do an episode today. Graduation stuff was just updating my personal life and tagging off of it, and yeah. But yesterday I was feeling really good when I had this thought, and I feel the clearest after, or at least have the deepest and self-aware and applying that self-awareness to a reality. Or maybe the self-awareness is me just having my head stuck up my own ass. You never really know. Are you being self-aware, or are you just full of yourself? I mean, it's all a balance, but I essentially had this thought that about quote-unquote finding yourself. So a lot of people, I'm gonna take a year off and try to find myself, or something like that. or I just can't find myself right now. And I've said it before, definitely. I would say it all the time. Well, I'm just finding myself right now. I'm trying to figure out who I am, which is very common in this world. So I'm not mocking it at all, but I'm going to, because I mock everything. But essentially I think it's, and I'm not saying it's a myth, but it's kind of a myth of quote unquote finding yourself. Like, what do you mean finding yourself? Are you lost? Do you have a mirror? Just look in the mirror. There you are, bud. There you are, girl. You found yourself. You're there. We're here. I'm here right now. I'm not lost. I know where I am. I'm in my apartment talking to my phone. Not lost. Sure, I might have some questions about I guess, not even who I am, because I am who I am. There is no, and I've wondered this many times in the past, and I still want to say, who am I? But that's just a very silly question, I think, now, because you are who you are, and that's it, because you're not who you were yesterday. Because, I vary little by little each day, little by little how much sleep I get. I'm not the person I was yesterday. I'm not the person I was an hour ago. Before I smoked that fucking bowl, I was a different person. Before I have my coffee in the morning, I'm a different person. Or a different version of myself, at least. So there is, and I guess what I'm trying to get out of this, there is no really finding yourself, because you're here. Where are you going? You're either here or you're not. And if you're not, you're dead. So then you don't know that you can't find yourself, because you just don't exist. So you're either here or you're not. And if you're lost, you're dead. Basically. So, as long as you're ticking, as long as you're breathing, as long as you are literally living in this present moment at this second right now, and now, forever, until now stops for you, essentially the lights go off and you don't wake up, that morning or what have you. There's really no finding yourself, because you're here. You are who you are. You are how you treat people in that moment. Yeah, you can be a dick forever. You can be a dick for 30 years. And yeah, that's going to give you the notion and kind of lean you towards this path and almost being programmed to be a dick for forever. And a lot would argue, and I would even argue that, yeah, you're probably a dick, bro. But in each and every second and moment and every pause, you can be whoever you want to be. And whoever you want to be is you. And that's really all it is. You are whatever you're doing in that moment and however you're treating people and yourself in that moment. So me right now, who am I? I don't know. I'm just some guy I'm high talking about bullshit. That's who I am right now. I'm some bullshit crazy dude if I was in the woods, spewing nonsense. Tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll go to a job and work a corporate job for 8 to 9 to maybe not 10 hours, but 8 hours, and I'll be a different guy. I'm still the same guy, still the same kind of personalities and traits, and I react the same in certain situations, but I don't know. I guess there's really, you can't find yourself, because what are you looking for? What are you looking for when you're trying to quote unquote find yourself, or trying to find out who you are? And I get it. I do it, but I don't see the main reason I think why it's a myth and kind of, I don't want to say stupid question, because I know every human wonders about it. but God damn it, I just lost that thought. Are you kidding me? But the main reason, god damn it. Oh, duh. The main reason I think it's a myth of quote unquote finding yourself is because you don't ever find yourself, because you can't. Because you're already here. You can't find something that isn't lost. Such as you can't fix something that's not broken. Not saying we're all fixed or we're all not broken, or definitely not. I think all of us are broken in one shape, size, form, or another. But you'll never. If you were always like, oh, I'm trying to find myself. Guess what? You're not. You're not gonna find yourself. You're not gonna find out what you want to do. Because really, when you're quote unquote finding yourself, what are you doing? I don't know. You're just literally just going. I'm only speaking on experience because I did this for the past. I don't know. I'm 25. I've done this for the past 7 years, at least, quote unquote finding myself. If not all 20. Oh, I'm not 25. About to be 25. But I would say at least 20, or at least the years I can remember since I was 6. What's that? I can't do math. I can do math. But 18 years. Essentially been trying to find myself, trying to find out what I want to do, who I want to be with, how do I become a better person, which are all valid questions. They are, but you're never going to hit that point where it's like, ding, 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 ding. I got the answer. I know everything. I know what I want to do. I blah, 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 blah. And yeah, some people might. They might hit that point where, the flip switches. But I'd say for most of us, it's not a switch either. It's you got to think of it, instead of a light switch, think of it as a fucking one of the light switches. It's not a light switch, but like a light toggle that turns on a light, adjusts its brightness from off all the way to like dim to slightly more bright to brighter till it's all the way on. I think that's kind of what life is like, or at least quote unquote finding yourself. That it isn't just one day you wake up and this flip is switched on. You went to bed, it was off, but you wake up and it's on. Yeah, some days I feel like that. It's like, dang, this just feels like a great day. Everything's going to be great. And, life makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And I know what I'm supposed to do in this world. Because something told me, or I found it. But I just think of it more on that toggle basis, that it's either, and it's really up to you. It's how much effort and how much you want to turn the lights on. Like, do you want the lights off and just turn them off for a day and just chill out? Or a weird ass noise being made outside. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Or do you want to, turn the lights full blast and give full effort into this world, no matter what you're doing, no matter if you hate your fucking job, no matter if you're around people you don't like. But I feel like if you don't like people, you probably shouldn't be around them. But at least you can put on a positive attitude, maybe a smiling face, even if it's fake, and just by your fake smiley face make things happier and brighter and more positive. But it's really up to our own effort, I think, and how much are you feeling today? Are you just feeling happy and grateful that you're even alive, or are you worried about your bills you got to pay next week, and I don't have enough food in the fridge and things like that, which are valid concerns. Can't pay for electricity, can't pay for whatever. All valid concerns. I'm not saying you shouldn't worry about those things. Those things are very real, and you can die, and they can change your lifestyle drastically, and affect your happiness. obviously. If you're not provided for and don't have your necessities met, it's hard to, quote unquote, find yourself and, try to improve yourself and, seek out those things that you like to do or you should be doing. And it's hard for myself too, man. I got home. It's hard for me. It's an everyday struggle. That's why I'm saying, that's why I'm calling it the myth of finding yourself. It's just, I think the perception that you're going to find yourself one day is a myth. That one day you'll reach the final, piece on the game board. And figure out what everything means. Inside? No? No? You want me to come outside? Well, I can't. What is that noise? Alright, well, you're staying out there by yourself. Almost done though. But yeah, I don't think it. And maybe I'm being a pessimist, and I'm just not. And I'm being down in the world, saying, "Oh, you'll never find yourself. You'll never reach that day you wake up and everything is light and beautiful." And I have those days all the time, and I have those moments. But that's what I'm saying. It's a moment. It's up and down. Nothing is forever. Nothing is constant. There's always going to be peaks. There's always going to be valleys, no matter where you are in this world, no matter who you're surrounded by, no matter who you love, no matter who you hate, no matter who you fuck, no matter who you beat up, no matter how many TVs you have, no matter what job you're doing, there's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys. And that's just the way it is, motherfucker. So get it right, get it tight. And yeah, I think we should all strive to try to be better and try to, quote unquote, find ourselves. But I think we should all realize as we go on this journey and this adventure of trying to do that, there is no final goal. Or there's no final place. Because honestly, that final goal is death. We already know where it goes. We already know where finding yourself leads you. It leads you to dying. I guess. Because imagine that. You find yourself in the woods. What is yourself doing out there? Why are you out there, bro? Well, that guy's there to kill you, probably. Yourself is going to kill you. And that's what that movie Us was based off of. I just made that up. Sounds right, though, right? Goddamn bowl wants to be clogged right now. So I don't have anything written down to continue, but I do have 20 minutes left, at least as far as the hour goes. I did have 2 things written down, so I guess I just lied to you, about sports and mainly the Red Sox, but I don't really want to talk about it. There's really not too much to talk about. David Price went to 10-day IL, so he'll be out a couple days, miss at least 2 starts, and this guy, Michael Chavis, a rookie, has just been killing it. That's basically it. Don't want to dive in it too much. I'm going to stay here for a little bit and see what pops up, motherfucker. If you don't want to listen, you can chime out. And if you're still listening 40 minutes in, then thank you very much. And if I know you or if I don't, I love you. If I don't know you, reach out. I do have a website, kylehighclub.com. It has all these podcasts up there. It has some old writings up there that I've done before when I was kind of fucking around with this idea. I do want to do some more things. I have some ideas written down for t-shirts. I'm not going to be selling them, honestly. Or just gonna be for me. But if this thing does grow, then maybe one day I will. But I just want, one or two cool t-shirts for myself. And some sayings and some slogans I thought of. Maybe I'd sell one of those. But we'll see. I also have a Twitter with this, Kyle High Club. So you can follow me on there. I don't use it too much. I'm thinking about using it a little more and just using Twitter through that. And because I only just follow, with that account, I just follow the people I'm interested in, and I follow best friends, but that's really it. I don't follow other people. Whereas my main Twitter account, I follow people that I haven't seen in years, for no reason at all. And I think the only reason I keep them is because I feel like if I unfollowed them, they'd think we're not friends anymore and never talk to me again. Like, if we saw each other at a bar or something, they wouldn't come say hi. Which is kind of cool. I actually saw an older dodgeball friend at my sister's graduation. It was cool running into him, talked for a little bit, and just catched up. I don't think I follow him anywhere. Haven't known what he's been doing with his life. He's getting engaged, so that was pretty cool. Same girlfriend he had in college, which was pretty cool. She was always nice. I liked her. Liked him. He was nice. Other people didn't like him, but people are just fucking mean, man. Seems like he was doing well for himself. I forgot what he told me, what he did for work, but it seemed interesting in the moment. I remember that. I don't remember rolling my eyes and being like, oh, it sounds like it sucks. So it had to have been positive. And he was dressed well and looked a lot better, well manicured than myself. And I think I'm doing decently well. So it was kind of cool running into an old friend. And I don't know how girls are with it, because I'm not a girl. And I've obviously had girlfriends in the past, but I do have friends that are girls, but I don't keep up with them. But at least with dudes, and especially guy friends that you're friends, like if you saw each other, you'd say what's up, or like maybe grab, you'd buy a beer if you were at a bar or something. But if, but like you don't, God, I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. But you don't reach out to them really ever. Like, I probably won't see this guy for a while. I don't know if I'll ever see him again, honestly. And it's nothing against him, it's just me as a person. I don't talk to anybody, so don't feel insulted. But if our paths cross, I'll say what's up, and who knows, like, we're not crossing at a homecoming or something like that. And some other friends, I did hit up a couple friends that were at JMU at the time. I put out there on some of the pages or whatever, hey, I'm going to be in JMU, nobody hit me up. So it is what it is, but it's also me too. I know I don't reach out with people. I'm not the best person in the moment when we were quote unquote friends or acquaintances or colleagues or whatever. But that was whatever. I guess that coupled with only being able to see, kind of realizing that, the people I love as well, as far as like seeing my sisters and my dad and my mom and my grandparents, and especially being all the way up in Wisconsin, it's going to be a while before I see them again. Now, my dad and my sisters are coming to visit in like a month or so, or a month and a couple weeks after my sister's graduation, and driving up here for a road trip. But I don't know the next time I'll see my grandparents. I don't know the next time I'll see my mom or my mom's side of my family. There will definitely be occasions as far as like holidays and things like that. But as of now, I don't have anything planned to see any of them. I have things planned, especially this year. I probably won't see any of these guys, or most of them, just because I'm going on a bachelor party. Hey. And then my buddy's wedding as well this year, and that's eating up most of my off days. Now, obviously, I have off days for the big holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. But also going to I can't wait, going to Chicago beginning of June. Friday night I'm seeing Joe Rogan live, so I'm fucking hype about that, do stand-up comedy. But then the main reason I'm going there, I'm going to see fucking a UFC event. Fucking 238, I believe. Yeah. Cejudo versus Moraes for 135 belt. I originally got the tickets for those as soon as it came out, and then I saw Joe Rogan's going to do some stand-up there, so for the first time in my life, I'll actually get to see him. He was, honestly, the first comedy special I ever watched was, I think was his. It was either his or Ricky Gervais. But I really remember Joe Rogan's comedy special in like 2005, like Monkeys in Space or something like that. That was on Netflix. I can't remember. It just had crazy jokes, just jokes I've never heard people even, I could never think of. And it was just right around the time when I started smoking weed. And he said one of the jokes, he's like, you can't think of those without weed. So ever since then, I realized I knew he was a Fear Factor guy, but I knew he was a fucking hilarious comedian too. I just thought he was the crazy Fear Factor guy. So then I found out, he's fucking hilarious. And it was like my first time seeing comedy, really. And I watched it with my best friends at my buddy's house. I remember that. We all just laughed our ass off, and I think we were high as well, because we just we all first started smoking. We were like 16 or 17, and then I realized he was also a proponent of marijuana, obviously, and so I looked into that more and somehow stumbled upon his podcast when I went to college, where for the first time in my life I went to a foreign place all by myself where I knew nobody, far away from home, and trying to make something of myself. So I had a lot of free time, in between homework and football and stuff like that. So I forget how I stumbled upon it, but somehow I stumbled upon his podcast, and ever since then, I've been listening to it ever since. Opened my mind tremendously as far as weed, as far as... and I pause because I can't think of anything because I'm high myself, because I'm on that weed. Get off the weed! Fucking Stephen A. Hey, why are you meowing at me? That's not nice. But, the main thing I realized back then was that best way you're learning is by communicating and conversating with people back and forth, no matter what it is. Maybe that's the best way for most people, but I think it's the best way to discuss things, not in text form or through media or things like that, but literally sitting down and talking to somebody face to face. It was just very early on. That's not even early on. I was fucking 18, 19 years old. Made me realize, you can sit, and email somebody and do something, or have them do something for you, or you can sit or get to know them or whatever, or you can sit down and talk with them, look them in the eye, talk to them back and forth, and kind of give in this wavelength and kind of sync together to where you're like on the same boat. You're just flowing and vibing together in conversation, back and forth. And I'd say that's pretty rare today, especially how much technology is ramped up as far as we have, the world's information at our fingertips, and, I can't stop. Even if I'm not doing anything or I don't want to know something, I'll just take my phone in my pocket and just look at it. I look at what time it is, even though I already know the time, and because I just looked at it before, I looked at the clock beforehand, or I'll look at what notifications I have. If I don't have anything, especially if I'm nervous or anxious around other people I don't know or things like that, and it's just, you're not flowing and vibing. So then, I don't know. Made me realize, I guess, how rare that is, and that should that should be treasured when you can sit down and talk and engage with another human being. And maybe that's not rare for a lot of people. I think it is for me. I'm not saying I'm different or I'm special. I might be saying I'm a little retarded, but we already knew that, honestly. But yeah, and now I'm not doing that because I'm just talking to myself, but we'll see. We'll see how the viewership grows and the listener rate goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll probably still keep doing it anyway, so sorry. I'll at least keep doing the MMA for sure. But I'm definitely, I have it written down, I might possibly email some professors here at University of Wisconsin that are doing research and see if they'd be interested in, sitting down for, a 30-minute or an hour conversation, just talk to me about their research and what they do, and possibly record it. Definitely record it, that's the whole point. But I don't know, I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do, because there's a lot of probably really smart professors out there, and the main thing that sparked my interest was in doing this with Shane Mouse, who's a comedian, stand-up comedian, and I went to a stand-up science show that he did here in Madison at the Comedy Club on State, and he essentially does stand-up, and then he has a guy present some material, does some more stand-up, another professor present his research material. He makes jokes off of it and things like that, and at the end they do a Q&A. It was a really cool show. I learned a lot. I was right in the front row, so I could actually see their PowerPoints and stuff with the data and things like that. Whereas if you're all the way back, you definitely couldn't. And I just sat all the way in the back. It's not that far, so you probably could still see, but not some of the more detailed details. And what made me, I forget who asked the question and what the question was, but essentially one of the fans asked one of the professors a question, how they get involved with this show. And essentially Shane was like, I just emailed them. And then one of the professors, and both of the professors were funny, which is pretty cool. And they weren't trying to be funny. They weren't told they're going to be stand-up. The audience is aware it's a stand-up show, blah, blah, blah. And, but one of the professors was like, honestly, nobody emails us. So we just responded back and was like, yeah, sure. Started a dialogue, and here we are. And I was like, damn, they're probably right. And at the end, I think the other professor reiterated it. He's like, so, yeah, why not come down on a Tuesday night, at 7 o'clock and, present his research in a different format in front of a different audience. Why not? That's what he does for a living, is they work on this research, and not just he, females as well. But both the professors that night and researchers that happen to be dudes. That's how it was. But yeah, I don't know. I think I might do that. See if they'd be interested. Just start emailing professors. Hey, how you doing? I do this podcast. It's not really that big, but I'm consistently doing it. I want to do it, and I'm very curious I'm not an intellectual. I'm very curious intellectually, as far as I like to know stuff. I'm just curious. Not that I want to know everything and rule the world like fucking Thanos or some bullshit, but I don't know. I'm just intellectually curious, and I think it'd be interesting sitting down and start talking with people, especially people that are more than likely smarter than me, especially in their shows and fields and the research that they do and have committed to their entire lives, because I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, we'll see. If the professors are literally right to where, hey, just email us, because we don't get many emails. If it's that easy, then fuck it, why not, and learn some shit. Maybe present more exciting content and more in depth and also bounce ideas off of, and also not me just rambling for an entire hour. You can get somebody actually, who knows things and has actually done the research and looked at things, instead of me just babbling and just spewing what comes out of the top of my mind when I'm high. So yeah, see how that goes. Maybe I'm gonna make a deadline and say by the end of this week, come Monday, so by Sunday, I'm giving myself a lot of time. That's how lazy I am. I know I'm lazy. But if you say it or write it down and set a date in your mind, more than likely you're going to end up doing it, because you know that date, and you know when you fuck it up. And you know when you fuck it up because you can feel it in your back, man. Or wherever it starts to fuck with you. So I say by by this Sunday, come Sunday, I have to at least send out one email to a Wisconsin professor and start a dialogue and see if they'd be interested in talking to me. So I think that'd be pretty cool for all the reasons I just named. And with that, I somehow made it to an hour. Apologize for the beginning parts, letting my cat in and out. It's too nice outside not to let her out, and I love her. I might have cursed at her. I definitely cursed at her and told her to shut up. But like I said, we're all work in progress. In that moment, I was a piece of shit. But I'm going to do better. I'm going to go pet her, kiss her, tell her I love her. And in those moments, I'll be amazing. It doesn't make up for the bad moments, but we only have this moment. Love you. Bye.